LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? No, but so the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, yeah, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Hour number 2 is underway. Armchair Quarterback Monday right here on the Early Line SportsGrid Network. Your boy Donnie Rightside along with Joe Ranier. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, the past 2 weeks, we did have some time off because we had the holidays here. No more holidays. We're going strong right through the playoffs to get you the information that you need to know. And you get it early in the morning, Joe. You don't have to wait till 5 o'clock till the news comes on. You get this early, 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, live. We do it for the people.
Absolutely. And listen, we kick off the new year in great fashion, right? Huge opening week to the new year here, Donnie. We got national championships coming up. We've got college basketball conference play right now. Huge games down the pike, not to mention the NHL, NBA in full swing. It's a good time of year.
You know what's is great, too, because I was a proponent at first. I was like, wait a second, man. We're going to have a Monday night football game. We know why they do it. It's for money. Like, you can sell that to a huge package audience here, and they'll watch and get massive ratings. But I'm kind of buying in because it used to be, Joe, 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. It's perfect. But I don't mind it, man. I'll skip that early Saturday game. Give me the 4:30 game. And then we have a great playoff weekend. And then we finish it up on Monday Night Football. Looking forward to the next week. So I like it, Joe. Did you like it? Because when I heard the Monday Night Football game, stupid, don't like it, unfair advantage. And I'm like, you know what? An extra day of football, sign me up.
Nope, for the fans, no problem. And they're going to maximize dollars. We know that. And eyeballs. Standalone game, nothing else going on a Monday. Gotta love it. And yeah, I do like it because at least it mimics what we got during the regular season as well, Donnie, right?
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. The early lineup starts with those Pittsburgh Steelers, 26-24 victors over the Baltimore Ravens, which saw a missed field goal by the Ravens, which would have gave them the crown in the AFC North and then the home field in round number 1. But instead, they're going home. We're asking if Lamar Jackson's ever going to play again, and also their head coach, John Harbaugh, if he's even coming back. But the Steelers move on. Aaron Rodgers with nothing at wide receiver threw 47 times for 294 yards in a victory for the Steelers. Vintage Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Lamar looked pretty good, too. 11 of 18, 238, 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick on a deflected pass, but I mean, that was what we thought we would get from the Ravens and Pittsburgh, right? Coming down to final. That's what it always comes down to with them, doesn't it, Donnie? It's who
Yeah.
can make the field goal, who misses the field goal. It's always a one-score game, likely within 3 points. It's exactly what we got again last night. Great AFC football. It was what? It looked like 8 degrees. Everyone was freezing out there, but you know what? Maybe Derrick Henry still has a little something left in the tank as well.
Maybe he does. He'll get a whole offseason to rest up here. How about the Atlanta Falcons knocking off the New Orleans Saints 19-17, which gave the Carolina Panthers the championship, even though they lost to Tampa Bay the day previous year. This game came down to the wire, and there was also a 4th and goal here that if New Orleans had converted earlier in that game, maybe would have put the screws to the Falcons, but a late touchdown from the New Orleans Saints got it close and got the cover, but the Atlanta Falcons got the victory, didn't save their head coach, and away we go into the offseason with a new general manager and a new coach for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, congratulations, Falcons. You put together a nice win streak there at the end of the season. Now everyone has to leave, including maybe Michael Penix Jr. But if you're Carolina, listen, I'd rather be lucky than good. That should be their slogan, Donnie, because they are so ridiculous. They ain't good enough to make it there on their own. They needed to be a little bit lucky with the Atlanta Falcons, and that's exactly what they were there.
New sack king in the NFL, it is Myles Garrett. And it's one of those where the sack, like, okay, I need 2 touchdown catches. Your quarterback can keep throwing you the football. There is no guarantee when you need a sack that you can just go out and get a sack. Myles Garrett in the 4th quarter finally got that sack record at 23 for the season. One of the best to ever do it. And they interviewed him after the game. And he's like, you know what? I had a bad dream last night. Like, I woke up and didn't get that sack record. Can you imagine coming that close to a record, having 2 games to get it as the best sack artist in the NFL and not? Good for Myles Garrett for getting that on a terrible football team. At least you have one moment you can look back to as a Cleveland fan. But you know what? That guy played well this year.
He is the best player on a team that will never, ever, ever be good enough for anything. And that's maybe the unfortunate part, is that this guy signed a huge deal with the Browns. And this is a guy much like I compare him to Barry Sanders, right? This is a guy that is Hall of Fame, maybe one of the best to ever played a game, and we'll likely never see him in the postseason, ever.
Might not, unless he forces his way out. But then you go, like, why'd you sign with Cleveland to begin with? He actually said before that big contract, like, I don't want to be here. I want to play for a winning team. Like, how about we get you Shedeur Sanders? Yep, sign me up. Don't get angry at it. Just play, earn your money. You chose to stay in Cleveland. Now do it. Now, Justin Fields is a terrible professional quarterback, but Justin Fields is a genius at making money. What if I told you that the Jets are like, hey, we saw enough on you. We're going to let you go 1 year, $30 million to go play for another organization next year. He won. Don't feel bad for Justin Fields. He's got $30 million for doing nothing for the Jets and probably will latch on as a backup quarterback throughout the NFL and continue to make more money. Fields is out for the Jets, but Fields is the big winner.
Listen, we saw, guys that didn't pan out as starting quarterbacks make pretty good careers of it as backups. Although, if you like to pass the ball, I'm not sure he's your guy. But we saw Mitch Trubisky win a game yesterday against the Jets. So anything is possible. Take the money and run, Donnie. That's what I would do with Fields.
By the way, is there anything wrong with Fields turning into a better version of Taysom Hill? Like, why do we not? Like, I'm not going to play that. You can extend your career 5 to 6 years and be absolutely dominant and make a lot of money. What's the problem with being that Army Swiss knife, type of player here? Do it, Justin Fields. Play tight end, play running back, play quarterback at the same time. It'll work out in your favor. The Buffalo Bills say goodbye to the Ralph. It's been a home field advantage for them for decades here. Now you go to the big toaster next door, which is supposed to block the wind. You're supposed to add some comforts of home here. Josh Allen's your new quarterback there. Say goodbye to Highmark with a big-time W over those lowly Jets.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't need a whole lot to beat the Jets here, but that's a heck of a way to go out there at Highmark. And listen, you got to usher in a new era, right? I mean, because that last era there then at Orchard Park didn't work out all that well. So hopefully new stadium, new beginnings, an opportunity for a world championship banner would be pretty impressive.
Novak Djokovic says, you know what? This union ain't treating me with respect. I'm out of this union. And by the way, I started this union.
Yeah, he did. Isn't it funny? And they just it's been a very tumultuous last couple of years here for Novak. But listen, the guy's like, I don't like what you're doing. My name, my image, my likeness, all of that good stuff there, my voice. I'm out. But I think he'll be better off for it.
You know who's like, you know what? We're going to save the best for last. Let's send Pete out in style with a victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders, 14, the Chiefs, 12. By the way, Kenny Pickett started that game, came in real quick through an interception. He was seen enough. Let's go back to AOC, Aiden O'Connell. They get the victory over a lowly finish for the Kansas City Chiefs with 6 wins, but did have Travis Kelce catch 3 passes for 12 yards. I guess congrats.
Well, I don't know if Fernando Mendoza will be a Raider because the last time the Raiders had the top pick and they went with a quarterback, Donnie, remind me that, Jamarcus Russell. That's right. That worked out really well. So Raiders drafting quarterbacks with the top pick, not necessarily, I think, a great situation. Even worse is that the Jets are right behind them. So this year's crop of quarterbacks, be wary. Yeah. You got the Raiders and the Jets coming for you.
Pick the best available quarterback. It's the only way you can have a future here. Now, in this hour, Joe, we got a lot of hot topics to get to, a lot of NFL talk. So I'm going to continue to set the stage for this. You know what goes over big in the locker room? Getting your guys incentives and helping them in their career. The Philadelphia Eagles lost a game yesterday. Like, you know what, Devontae, go out there and get 44 yards, get your 1,000. They got it. A lot of players across the league hit some things like Stephon Diggs. Hey, look, I need 30 yards out here to get 1,000 yards for $500,000. They got him that year. But also, Drake May was going to be the MVP favorite in a walkaway. Drake May is no longer that favorite. We're going to talk Vrabel coming up in a little bit as well. See these hot topics? They keep rolling along, people. We'll be right back.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season. But let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Wild Card Weekend is set in the NFL. Yes, it's still a week away. Next Saturday, we'll have 2 playoff games there. But Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri, we like to get the people excited for it now. Those 2 Saturday games will be the Rams at the Panthers, followed by the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Sunday, 3 games. Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. You take a look at the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philadelphia, and then the nightcap is going to be Sunday Night Football between the Chargers and the Patriots. Monday Night Football, that is the Houston Texans, and you see the graphic there. Steelers or the Ravens? We know it's those Pittsburgh Steelers moving on as the home team here. We're set. We're ready to go, Joe. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. We got a lot of interesting rematches, games that we, teams versus one another that we've already seen. So it's going to make for a very interesting wild card round. And then again, you're going to have some teams that have not seen one another. And what are the first impressions going to be? I mean, we got two pick'em games, Donnie, in the wild card where significantly higher seeded teams aren't exactly significantly higher in the marketplace, which I think is also fascinating.
Yeah, we take a look at the NFC playoff matchups here. And again, how massive that game was between the Seahawks and the 49ers, which gives the Seahawks the win. They don't have to leave, have a great home field advantage, even though they actually play their best football on the road seemingly here. That's an advantage for them. It used to be in the past, Joe, top two teams get by, so it's a little more even in the playing field. It's massive to have that number one overall seed. Then we find out the Chicago Bears and the 2 seed, they're going to take on the division rival in the Green Bay Packers. Then the 6 seed 49ers going to travel to Philadelphia as the 3rd seed. And then the Rams, that 5th seed, going up against the 4 seed Carolina Panthers. If we're looking for probably the easiest path to victory here in round number 1, you just look at the point spreads here. It's double digits for the Rams. They probably should win. Then we have some pretty good matchups, Joe, between the Bears and the Packers and the Eagles and the 49ers.
Yeah. Again, should be very interesting. You know, all the West Coast teams, Donnie, with the exception of Seattle as a bye, but we got a lot of those West Coast teams, Donnie, good West Coast teams that are now going to have to travel out east here because of the way it all ended up seeding-wise. But make no mistake about it, a lot of experience, though. Some newbies, but a lot of experience in this year's playoffs, especially on that side.
Yeah, we take a look at some of these price points here that we look at for the NFC champion. Yes, obviously, of course, you're going to have the Seahawks now as the favorite at a plus 190 price. They're the number 1 seed. They're going to be at home. They're going to wait while multiple teams take losses this weekend. Followed by the Rams, Eagles, Packers, Bears, and 49ers. For my money, if I'm taking 2 swings at plus, it's the Eagles at plus 450, and it's the Packers at plus 850, because I believe, Joe, in the next round, the NFC divisional round, it's going to be the Eagles taking on the Packers. Therefore, that gives me a jetway to the NFC championship game with a good plus money ticket in my pocket. Any looks for you, Joe, in that plus money market here to win the NFC?
It is wide open, and the way that it's going to turn out, too. And you know, we talk experience matters this time of year, Donnie, right?
Yeah.
So Seattle gets to spend a week home. They haven't been in this spot in a hot minute, right? But we know the Bears are in uncharted territory. But all those other teams, including your Eagles, these are teams that have been there, done this, know exactly what it takes to win. Experience to me is the advantage early here. And I don't know how many upsets we're getting here early in this side of the bracket.
Yeah, hey, we get to play it out, which is the great part. We don't have a mythical champion in the NFL. You just vote to bring it in here. But the AFC also going to have some fun here as they enter into the equation. Denver is the number 1 overall seed. They are going to get that bye week here in a much-needed rest. The 5 seed is Houston. The 4 seed is Pittsburgh. Buffalo, the 6 seed. Jacksonville, the 3rd seed. The Chargers, the 7 seed. New England, the 2 seed. We got real competitive games across the board. In the NFC, you got that blowout, or at least blowout as a odds maker perspective for the Rams. You're not getting that this week here in the AFC, Joe. 3 really good games look like they're on deck.
Yeah, let's face it, Jacksonville and the Patriots, kind of the new kids here taking on the old guard. Like Chargers never have any success early in the playoffs, right? They always seem to get bounced, even though they got one of the best quarterbacks. The Broncos is the 1 seed? Crazy, but very well, a head coach that's been there, done that, has the ring on his finger, the right guy at the right time. And Pittsburgh and Houston, old guard. Buffalo, old guard. A lot of very familiar coaches and quarterbacks in this year's AFC side for sure.
You know what's interesting about the NFC side? Because you look at it and say to yourself, all right, the Seahawks are a good football team, but they're not really the pedigree per se. The Rams have the pedigree. Their coach and their quarterback have won a Super Bowl. The Eagles, coach and quarterback have won a Super Bowl here. The 49ers, at least they've been to a Super Bowl, right, with their coach and their quarterback. You look at the AFC, Joe, the Broncos. No real
Yep.
pedigree here from that team. The Patriots,
Nope.
no pedigree from this team. The Texans, no pedigree from this team. The Jaguars, the Chargers, and then obviously the Buffalo Bills, what they have a pedigree of getting maybe to an AFC championship game, but never to a Super Bowl. You do, like when you say, Joe, wide open in the AFC,
Yep.
you're looking at price points where the Broncos plus 230, Patriots plus, like really good price points on teams that are unproven, which means you could catch a really nice ticket and wind up in the Super Bowl.
And the Bills being the old guard, right? The Bills,
Yeah.
it feels like it's always here, and here they are at 5-1. And, a lot of people are saying they're looking at that 6-3, right? Buffalo to 6 seed, Jacksonville to 3, and maybe likely the winner of that game should be considered the favorite to win it all there, Donnie, because nobody's talking about Jacksonville. Nobody seems to trust them. But has there been a hotter team since week 8, 9, since their bye week? They have been on fire, but are they good enough? And does the experience come into play where they can handle business against Buffalo? I mean, Buffalo doesn't have to play in the snow. They got to be excited about that, right?
Yeah, a couple of these graphics that we left out to like the NFC with Carolina. Okay, take a flyer. And also, by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers, not even win the Super Bowl. They're in the playoffs with their home game, Joe. They're 18-1 to win the AFC. Not getting a lot of hope there, but the Chargers 12-1, the Jaguars plus 550, the Bills, can they finally be their year at this point? There are a lot of opportunities. I'll tell you one team, like I don't think I'm obviously going to take the Steelers on a flyer, but Houston at plus 470, I want no piece of them, Joe. Like they're right in the thick of things like, oh, that's a good price. I want nothing to do with the Houston Texans. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you there. I still don't think they have the offense that is capable of getting it done. And they played all their starters against Indy yesterday indoors, and they had to hold on for dear life. So, yeah, no, I'm not buying the Houston Texans this year. Great turnaround, but not buying them.
Poly Market coming up next. Also, Kalshi coming up next. That's the predictive markets, people. And finally, we're going to talk MVP odds in the NFL. Come on back.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season, but let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Predictive markets here. We love them right here on the Early Line in the SportsGrid Network. It's on the right side. It is Joe Rainier. We're going to talk pro football champion. Now that we have a playoff set, Do you know the favorite right now? Two teams in the NFC. That first team is the Seattle Seahawks at a 20% chance, followed by the Los Angeles Rams at a 16% chance. Then we have three straight AFC teams: Denver, Buffalo, New England, before we find ourselves with the Philadelphia Eagles taking a flyer. Once again, in the predictive market show, you can stamp, boy, I like Seattle at 20%. By the time they have their first round matchup, which are going to take a bye, you might already be profitable without even having the team that you chose even play a football game, Joe. Seattle is the favorite. I do think they have the pathway to get to a Super Bowl, but again, I'm looking a little bit further down the board. Let me just give you this one caveat, too. The Los Angeles Rams are 16% listed at second. You might argue that they might be the most talented team, but Joe, they have to win probably 3 road games before they even get to the Super Bowl. I can't take the Rams either.
It's tough, but they certainly have the weapons, and maybe Devontae Adams, they're thinking, might be able to get back here if they can get it extended here and beat Carolina, which I don't think will be a problem. And it's hard to discount them, but I do know this, Donnie, if you don't bet the Rams now, when they beat Carolina and they beat them and, let's say, cover the 10, what is their number going to be at that point? So they may not win it all, but I think at this price, if we get the contract, I think we make money once they beat Carolina.
By the way, let's get to the MVP now, Joe. NFL MVP coming into yesterday. It was by a wide margin. Some outlets, Joe, were minus 500 or higher for Drake May. Yeah. Then it turns out the Rams were going to play their starters. So myself, made money yesterday, happy. But one of my favorite wagers was Drake May over 2 touchdown passes yesterday, over 1.5. It's a little juicy at minus 155 to 150, depending where you're shopping at some outlets. But I say, no, this makes sense. You have a game that you're going to blow the doors off of the Miami Dolphins. They're done. They're buried. They're dead in the water. You want to get your quarterback some easy touchdown passes so he wins the MVP. So what did we see ourselves with yesterday? Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay going, every chance I have to throw you to get you a touchdown pass, I'm going to give you that opportunity. Bing, 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 bing across the board. Joe, I watched the first half yesterday. A handoff inside the 5-yard line when the game was 0-0. Boom, walks in with a touchdown. Okay, there'll be plenty more chances. Number 2 drive, first quarter, Joe. First and goal at the 2. They line Drake May up at wide receiver and run a wildcat into the end zone for a touchdown. Drake May finishes with 1 touchdown pass, which, I lost my bet. I'm unhappy with that. But also, Drake May lost the favorability status on being the MVP in the betting markets, which include Kalshi and Polymarket. Matthew Stafford is now a 60% favorite to win the MVP when Drake May got sold down the river by his head coach and didn't get those layup touchdowns that Stafford got. I can't believe that happened. May had the MVP wrapped up until he didn't, Joe.
So we were on in-game live yesterday for the late afternoon games. And, of course, I was hosting with our good friend Adam Kaufman, who might be the biggest Drake May homer and who has been screaming about Drake May MVP since about week 4. And I have continued to tell him, you're out of your mind. It's going to be Matt Stafford. So when that game started, he did remind me that as high as minus 500.
Yes.
By the time the Rams game ended and Stafford just threw his 4th touchdown pass, it was like he saw a ghost because he pulled up those odds and they were at a pick'em price. Yeah. And I want to know is who is betting into that market so much that you're moving the line from minus 500 to pick them by the time the Rams game is over? Unreal.
But honestly, because coaches are supposed to be in the corner of their best athletes here. Like, again, in Philadelphia, a meaningless football game. Hey, kid, let me let you go out there. Get your 1,000. Stafford got his, but it wasn't even like, well, I'm not going to run him out there in a meaningless game because they had to win to keep their seeding. But once it got apparent, like, this game was over, like, hey, you know what? On the goal line or inside the 20, we're just going to dial up some easy plays to throw you lobs for touchdowns here because I want you to win the MVP. And it was the direct opposite. Like, you could have had a first half where he threw 3 touchdown passes and rode the bench and be like, you know what? That's the MVP. And some might say, well, you can't just lay it. Trust me, optics matter. When you see the final statistics and Stafford has all these touchdown passes in the final week of the season in a meaningful game to then, they let him air it out. And Vrabel's like, dude, we'd rather get our running backs off inside the 5-yard line and have him at wide receiver. I couldn't believe what I was watching at that point. Again, it doesn't come as sore grapes. Oh, Donnie lost a bet. But I'm looking from a locker room perspective, like, your kid was going to win the MVP, and you didn't let him, Joe.
Yeah, he didn't. And listen, Stafford could have been benched in the 4th quarter, Donnie, because that game was well in hand for the Rams. And McVay kept rolling them out there. And you know what? When it got into the red zone inside the 10, they weren't calling Corum handoffs. They were calling him to throw the ball, and he got that 4th touchdown.
Incredible, man. Come on, coach,
Yep.
man. Back your player, man. Ridiculousness. Let's continue to talk the NFL next.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season, but let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's get a quick preview for the people out there in these streets of what we're looking forward to in Wild Card Weekend this coming weekend coming up. Saturday, you got 2 games. Sunday, you got 3 games. Monday night, you have that single game on Monday Night Football. The Chargers and the New England Patriots. That game is in the AFC. That game is going to take place on Sunday Night Football from New England. The New England Patriots yesterday easily dispatched the Miami Dolphins, got that number 2 seed. They're going to take on the Chargers, who rested their starters in Denver yesterday. In a close game where, you know what, they fought hard. They just obviously didn't have their starting quarterback or many players that you would usually lean on. This total, Joe, sits at 46.5 across the landscape, and a total of a side of only 3.5 as a favorite for the Patriots. The Chargers are rested. The Patriots played their starters. The Patriots are at home, so no travel last week and no travel this week. Are we underselling the New England Patriots, or is there something to Harbaugh coming into the playoffs with Herbert where they can win this game, but you think they can keep it close enough to stay within that margin?
Experienced. I mean, what is home field advantage? What is the experience factor here? How much is that worth when it's all said and done? You got a chance to rest Herbert, which is fantastic. Rest some of those offensive linemen, but you didn't see Hampton. And for all the faults, let me tell you something. That Chargers team sat 5 starters on the defensive side of the ball. They went into Denver and absolutely smacked Bo Nix and that offense around there. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get anything going offensively with all the backups on the offensive side. But the defense, even with the backups, very competitive. So, Harbaugh will have his team ready to go, even in New England. And if it comes down to it, Drake May, and you know how I feel about Herbert, I think he should be the real MVP because I believe nobody has done more with less than he has this year. He'll have an opportunity to show up Drake May in his own building there, and I like his chances of doing so.
Rainier and Kaufman got to be on that. You got to make sure you guys are on for that Sunday night football game here. The winner of that should take the MVP in the AFC. Should be a fun game to watch. And again, close numbers here, which the majority of these games are. Starting with that Sunday 1 o'clock game, the Buffalo Bills, who rested their starters in an easy victory over the Jets in the last game at the Ralph. They're going to go south to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who easily dispatched of their opponent on Sunday, the Tennessee Titans. This line total is 51.5. The side actually has the Bills as a favorite in Jacksonville, which I think is pretty crazy. Jacksonville's played really good football. The Bills still have Josh Allen. You know the public eventually is going to probably want to bet Allen, but I am surprised that the Jags are an underdog. Are you, Joe?
Not, again, experience situation, right? I think that on a neutral site game, Buffalo would probably be a 3.5, 4-point favorite, somewhere in that ballpark there, Donnie. So I don't think it's a stretch here, but I do think the total in that game is going to be fascinating because I could see both teams having some success running the ball, and given how Trevor Lawrence has looked under Liam Cohn and this offense, this could be the highest scoring game, I think, of Wild Card Weekend, Donnie. It wouldn't shock me at all if we get a ton of points in this one.
I mean, it should be a good one to watch. And again, you're taking a look at those two games. We look at 3.5s and 1.5s. We're expecting a really competitive environment. The game sandwiched in between those two games on Sunday, Joe, San Francisco and Philadelphia. This line yesterday opened up at 3 once it first hit the board. It's now up to 3.5s across. The San Francisco 49ers lost a chance to be the 1 seed. They're going to travel to Philadelphia, who rested their starters with a chance to have the number 2 seed on the line. This side, minus 3.5 and a total of 46.5. Weather conditions right now, Joe, don't look all that bad. Right around 47 degrees at kickoff. Winds around 12 miles per hour. But again, we're roughly a week out. Those could change here. But we're looking for a clean slate at this point. The rested Eagles versus the 49ers.
Well, we've seen the 49ers offense against 500 teams. Teams that are basically 500 or less. And they drop 40 points a game. We've also seen the 49ers against really good and elite defenses like Seattle, for instance, last game, where they mustered how many points, Lonnie? 3? Well, What exactly is going to happen here with the Eagles? Any idea? Because the Eagles defense is pretty good, too. It feels like this is going to be a slugfest here and a low score, maybe the lowest scoring game of the weekend.
I'm interested to see this play out, too, because understand this. The Eagles did take a bye week. Andrew Makuba, young safety they drafted out of Texas last year, found his way into the starting lineup. He eventually broke his leg late in the season a couple weeks ago. But outside of that, every single starter is healthy for the Philadelphia Eagles entering into the playoffs. That's pretty incredible at this point. We'll see if that does make a decided difference. Here's Brandon Graham, old-timer, talking about the Philadelphia Eagles moving towards the playoffs.
What's your initial reaction to facing the 49ers in the wild card round?
Oh, that's what we got? Yeah. That's what. Oh, okay. You know what? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? We at the same time, we know we was gonna have to see. We gonna have to see everybody. Whoever we see. It's all about what we do, and I'm thankful that we get to go against a good opponent. And if we want it, it don't come easy. We gotta go take it. And so, like I said, we just gotta stay together. We already knew it's a possibility of whoever it was, Packers. It could have been the Rams. It could have been them. But either way, if we want to win it all, we gotta see those people.
What comes to your mind first when you think of the Niners?
We gotta stop their run. Christian McCaffrey. Then on top of that, Purdy's been doing a great job since he's been back. We gotta make sure that we just, even on the offensive side, I know they gonna make sure that they have a great showing coming up, and we just gotta be us, man, and bring the energy and play fast on defense and put the offense in a great position. It's gonna be field position in that game, and special teams, everybody just gotta do their job and make sure that they come ready, because I know the 49ers gonna definitely come in here, try to get one on our field, and we gotta make sure that we defend it.
How does it feel?
There's BG talking about the upcoming game here, and that game's going to take place again 4:30 p.m. in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field, Joe.
Yeah, and it feels like points could very well be hard to come by. And he's right. There are a few weapons here on the 49ers. They'll have Trent Williams back. They'll have their offensive tackle. Eagles will have Lane Johnson back. So it's going to be all about scheme. It's going to be about coaching, and it's going to be about which defense can get enough stops. Do you trust the Eagles' offense enough to blow this game out of the water, Donnie? That's going to be the big question.
Yeah, it is, and it'll be fun to watch it play out. And again, the Eagles are rested, and also the Eagles. The best part about this, like the own fan base, is going to put a chip on the shoulder. Like, oh, we blew the 2 seed. Fire these guys, and then if they win, they'll love them again. So it should be a fun weekend here in Philadelphia, at least to listen to Sports Talk Radio. The Rams and the Carolina Panthers, they'll get it teed up the first game of Wild Card Weekend, Joe. Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Matthew Stafford, Bryce Young. We take a look at the weather conditions here. Let me just get a quick peek. 70 degrees, Joe. What is that? What, playing this down in your neck of the woods down there in Florida at this point? 46.5 is the total. 10.5 to 9.5, depending where you're shopping at. Heavy favorite for the Rams. For a dome team going outdoors with no rain in the forecast and 70 degrees, that's probably not what Carolina wanted to see.
No, that is not. But listen, what are we going to get? What was the first game? 31-28, right? But it was Matt Stafford's interceptions in that game that pretty much sealed it. It was also raining sideways, if I remember there. I just don't think there's enough offense, and there certainly isn't enough experience here with Carolina to go toe-to-toe with the Rams. And listen, coaching advantage, McVay and Stafford having been here and done this and already been there and lost that game, I think the Rams have a huge advantage. Would not shock me if this game is over by halftime.
I'll tell you what's interesting, too, is like we get these situations where we say to ourselves, these teams like the Carolina Panthers should not be in the playoffs. But we have multiple instances where these teams that are under 500 going into the playoffs and actually winning that game because home field is a monster advantage. And also understand this from the Rams. I tell you, and Joe tells you as well, they are ultra talented. Like every position, head coach down to the quarterback, they're phenomenal. But something still, like that game was up in the air yesterday with the Arizona Cardinals in a game where the Cardinals were no business in winning, and the Rams absolutely wanted to win that game. So stranger things have happened, and also understand this. We are handicappers. We're not asking you, should the Rams win this game outright? That's a 10.5-point line. Rams could win in a de facto blowout 30-20, and you could still cover from a Carolina perspective. More hot topics on the way next, which includes the NBA and beyond. We'll be right back. It's Early Line on Monday.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? No, but so the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they couldn't get the Arizona State coach to come out. They couldn't get the BYU coach to leave their job. I mean, it's just very odd, I feel, when we watch this whole thing play out and try and really understand what happened here with Michigan not being able to make some of the splashier hires that they thought they were going to be able to make.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season. But let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
NBA action, it's fantastic. We're in the month of January. We got a long way to go in the NBA, by the way. You got January, February, March, April, May, and June. 6 more months. It feels like this sport's already been on for 6 months this year. But how about this? Russell Westbrook is now the highest scoring point guard in league history. One of the single most selfish players in the history of the NBA is moving up the charts. Why? Because I've been saying this for a decade now. There is no worse teammate than Russell Westbrook. He'd rather get his statistics over a team win 7 days a week and twice on Sundays, Joe. But he's moving up there. He's a high-scoring player.
Yeah, well, he's got longevity, Donnie, and has got, he's played in an era where, there was a time in his prime. Remember, it was like Mr. Triple-Double. The guy was unbelievable here. So he's had a great career. The numbers tell us he's had a great career. Worst teammate, also maybe go to him, that award in the history of the NBA. But certainly a guy that can rack up the points and the assists and the rebounds like nobody else.
Yep. Would you rather have a triple-double in this game or actually win it? He'd take the triple-double. Would you rather have in a Game 7 NBA Finals a triple-double or actually win the NBA championship? Give me the triple-double, then we'll see if we can win this basketball game as it turns out. How about Jaylen Brown stepping up here for the Celtics? Did you see the run that this man has been going on? 50, 41, 41, 32, 30, 35, 34, 42. The man is like, this is my team. Boston is my town. Jason Tatum, who?
Yeah, he's kind of crazy, right? I mean, absolutely crazy what he's going down. And what was it? 10 straight 30-point games or something? Or that's what he's got. It's just absolutely crazy how many times this guy has stepped up with no Tatum, nobody else in the lineup, and single-handedly has now put the Celtics in the conversation as one of the best teams in the East. Certainly didn't see that happening. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Tatum's practicing, and who knows? It may not be too long before you get Brown and Tatum back on the court together.
Are they back in business? Yeah, I'll tell you, a team that we thought would set the all-time NBA record in wins, and I guess theoretically they still can. The Thunder, 30-6 now. After losing to the Phoenix Suns, 108-105 on the road. Booker had 24-6-9 in that victory. Look at the Suns, 12-5 at home and 21-14 on the season.
Well, this was a sneaky revenge spot because if you'll remember, the Thunder embarrassed the Suns in the NBA Cup and bounced them out. I think they won by 40, and it wasn't good, and they didn't slow it down either. Well, the Phoenix Suns had an opportunity last night to get a little revenge at home, and boy, oh boy, they did that. Booker with the game winner with like 0.2 of a second left, and that is how you get it done. Phoenix is sneaky good this year. They're not going to be rolling over for anybody at 7 games over 500.
Now, I got burned last week on one of these games where the Denver Nuggets were like, come on, man. They're catching double digits here. I think it was the Cleveland Cavaliers game. How about the Philadelphia 76ers tonight in Philadelphia? Favored by double digits, minus 11.5 on the live number, and a total of 231.5. Obviously, the injuries for the Nuggets are piled up here, which includes maybe the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. But the Sixers by double digits at home. And by the way, only 35% of the tickets coming in on those Sixers right now here. Can the Sixers win by double digits? I expect them to win, but the question is, can the Nuggets get another double-digit cover?
Wow, I mean, Denver just lost yesterday to Brooklyn Nets, who can't score against anybody, but managed to drop 127 points on the Nuggets there, who have nobody. They don't have the Joker. I mean, they were hoping to get back, Cameron Johnson. They were hoping to get Valanciunas. Nope, didn't get any. Lost those guys too. Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun. I mean, they got to work their way back in. It's just, it's going to be a rough stretch until we can at least get those guys, someone back up to speed. So, yeah, I get it. The 76ers could be a game that they run away with easily here.
Warriors come out and play. 10 o'clock, they're actually going to do that. The Warriors on the road to take on the Clippers at the Intuit Dome. -1 at the opening number, Joe. Most outlets still sitting at -1 across the board as a favorite towards the Clippers and a 225.5 price. The only question is, to me, is I don't know if I want to take a side, but there's got to be the predictive markets to say, does Draymond Green get ejected again from this basketball game?
Two of the oldest rosters in the NBA going at it, but both have actually been pretty good, right? Since the cut, Warriors now have won 6 of their last 8. The Clippers got absolutely smoked by Jaylen Brown and the Celtics their last game, but they've won 6 of 7. You got a healthy Kawhi Leonard. I think this is going to be an interesting game. The Clippers have done a really good job against the Golden State Warriors over the last couple of years. It feels like this one's going to come down to final possession. Probably more defense than offense here. Wouldn't shock me if this thing lands under the total either.
2 games tonight in college basketball with top 25 implications. One of those games is going to be an 8:30 start in East Lansing, Michigan. USC travels to take on Michigan State. This line, Joe, opened up at 9.5. We're now seeing 11.5s in the marketplace in a total of 151.5. Michigan State at home, now a double-digit favorite against SC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, SC is, they're a decent team here this year, but they are nowhere even remotely close to what Michigan State is. Not to mention, Michigan State is a little bent out of shape that they lost that game against Nebraska over the weekend there. They had an opportunity to win that game, couldn't get it done. But the good news is they get SC having to travel into East Lansing. It may feel like double digits is a lot, but likely USC is going to struggle putting points on the board here tonight.
Yeah, you take a look at USC, Joe. Here's what you find interesting here. They love to get to the free throw line. Actually, number 1 in the country between, making shots and also going to the free throw line. 53.6%. You know who doesn't foul? Michigan State. You know who's an incredible defensive rebounding team? 2nd in the country? It's Michigan State. When you go on the road and you want to get to the free throw line, you can't get there, and the other team's not getting you second chance opportunities, sometimes that certainly weighs into it. And also understand this, USC's defense, not a great rebounding team. On offense, Michigan, top 10 in offensive rebounding. Control the glass, don't foul, you're at home. And also, did I add this? Adjusted efficiency on defense, number 5 in the country is Michigan State. You know Izzo is going to have them boys playing some defense tonight at home, Joe.
Yeah, he was not happy with that loss against Nebraska, but he will have them ready to roll here at home against SC tonight for sure.
Ooh, college basketball talk in January. Conference play is what we love here. The Breslin Center going to have it all tonight in East Lansing. We'll find out the winner. Can it be Michigan State by double digits? We got some best bet winners on the way. Closing out this Monday show in style right here on the SportsGrid Network.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? No, but so the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, they couldn't get the Arizona State coach to come out. They couldn't get the BYU coach to leave their job. I mean, it's just very odd, I feel, when we watch this whole thing play out and try and really understand what happened here with Michigan not being able to make some of the splashier hires that they thought they were going to be able to make.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
I know exactly what Patriot Nation is screaming this morning. It's Drake May time. Give him the trophy. MVP. Stop it, please. Just sit down. Yes, Drake May has had a nice season. But let's be real. He has played a JV schedule of defenses. He is carving up the easiest slate of defenses in the NFL this season. Congratulations on your beatdown of the Jets.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Monday shows go fast. There's so much information, specifically from a week that we saw the college football playoff, the finalization of the NFL playoff structure, and away we go into a Monday where, we got to wait till Thursday, but I love this show. These games are so meaningful. Now, okay, let's brush over this game. You have great football games to talk about in the NFL, 2 exciting matchups in college football. This week is going to be great, so make sure you stick it right here on the SportsGrid Network, specifically with the early line. Waking up, getting the early worm, and having some of that information that you can stand around the water cooler with. But now, Joe, you hear us talk all show. We say that. We want to hear from the people out there. Here's our Fade the Public poll question. We asked a question today, and it dealt with the Baltimore Ravens game going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. Where do you find this question, you might say? At SportsGrid on X. Give us a follow. These questions come out each and every day, Monday through Friday. The question we asked today, should the Ravens move on from Harbaugh? Now, granted, we are not grammatically correct most of the time. Yes, they need to. I believe there should be an extra O on that too. Or no, ridiculous here. I'm in the boat where I don't think they need to, but they might. But also understand this. These are 2 organizations that played last night that are not used to firing football coaches as of late. I don't think Harbaugh is going anywhere. So I look at that 38.6% live and say that's probably the way to do it. But I don't think it's ridiculous.
I'm against it. I mean, listen, when you put in that much time in an organization, this isn't Mike McCarthy, right? Like, all right, you've been here 3-4 years. We don't like what we're seeing. When you have been the fabric of what this organization has been for so long, ownership, especially that ownership group and Hart, if he's going to go, they're going to give us the narrative where it's a mutual thing and he moves on to another team. There is not going to be here's your pink slip, get out of here, Harbaugh. You know, it's not going to happen that way. And they sure as heck won't do it unless they are 100% confident they have somebody that is just as good, if not better, to take his place. And I don't think this is the year to look for that, Donnie. I really don't.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. If we had the poll say more likely to be a Raven next year, Harbaugh or Lamar Jackson?
I would say Harbaugh. I would say Harbaugh.
I would say
There's just far too many stories about Lamar and this, upstairs and and even some of the players here. It's, ultimately winning cures everything, Donnie. Stay healthy next year, win the AFC North, and we won't be having this conversation.
Yeah, no, okay, look, we're going to get probably a lot of that information coming out in the next 24 to 48 hours, and this sets up as an interesting offseason nonetheless for the Baltimore Ravens. But now, let's give the people what they want. It's the start of the week here. Let's hit our best bets with Bye, Bye, Bye. Take it away, Joe. Where do we go tonight? NHL, you got college. Yeah, you do have some college football tonight. Pro football this weekend or tonight? Get after it. What is it?
Well, I'm going to go to the FCS championship, Donnie, and I think it's going to be a fun one. Illinois State at Montana State. Illinois State, nobody had them getting to this game. Nobody had them beating number 1 North Dakota State in the FCS championship playoff game to get to this spot. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, Montana State has been here and done this before. It is a great team. We told you they haven't lost since week 2. But Illinois State's here for a reason, Donnie. The 10.5 points to me, I think with 2 weeks to prepare, this is going to be a much closer game than people realize. I got no problem taking the 10.5 points. I think Montana State wins, but I think Illinois State keeps this thing close like they've done all playoffs long.
College football there. Meaningful bowl game here at this point because it is a national championship. We'll see how it plays off. I'm going to go to the NBA tonight. And this is a team I've taken quite a bit so far because apparently nobody ever likes to bet on this team. It's the Atlanta Hawks take on the Toronto Raptors. Atlanta is on the road. The line opened up at 4.5. It now sits this morning at 3.5 in a total of 235.5. But how about this caveat here? That line has dropped a point despite the Atlanta Hawks only having 29% of the total ticket count coming in. Something smells fishy. You don't want to take the Atlanta Hawks. But you know what? Your boy DRS is taking the Atlanta Hawks tonight with the 3.5. Heck, Joe, we don't even have to win the game. Just stay within a bucket or two. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Hawks got to figure it out. Second go is a charm, right, against Toronto here. So Yeah, I'd like Atlanta. I also like Trae Young to be traded soon. That would be great too, Atlanta. Just saying.
Moving on from Trae Young there. By the way, a lot of changes in Atlanta. Maybe the basketball team needs to go away with the football team, fire the GM, fire the head coach, restructure the organization, and maybe put a winner out there on the basketball court. Thanks for tuning in to a Monday edition of The Early Line. We'll be back on Tuesday. Joe Ranieri and Donnie Rightside. See you bright and early tomorrow morning.